Okay, so the next step for us to do is to put two beams in and then attach all the connections. So if we go to TSD members in the menu and select beams, we're going to select the first model type at the top, and we're just going to select a sketch segment, which is this one, and we're going to place that on that sketch line, and it'll be mated and inserted with a new name. So just to show you what's happened, you'll see that we now have a beam that's come in, and what we're going to do is fix the connections and the connection points inside that beam to our driving sketch frame. So we need to do that by selecting both whilst holding down the control key, and we're going to isolate them. That way we will not connect any of the connection points to any other member, and be in a situation where we can create a circular reference as such. So the first thing we're going to do is grab the C&05 CPO2 sketch, which is this one here, and there's already an existing mate. We're just going to delete that, move it over onto that point there, and you'll see that that's the intersection point between the column and other mating beams center lines. And if you just do a Control Q, that'll move it over. So now that that's fixed to the driving sketch, zoom over to the far end and it'll be C&04 CPO2, and edit that sketch. If you click on that, you'll notice there are two mates there also. Grab that and drag it over the column sketch and the two beam centerline sketches, and mate it as a coincident in place. We then go over to the bracing sketch and we attach the bracing point over on top of the two bracing diagonal lines in the driving sketch and lock that into place. So that means that if we were to move the driving sketches or change the width, the connections would automatically update their positions in that member. So that fixes the connections in their locations. Just exit out of isolation, do a Control Q, Control S just to save everything that we have done, and what we'll do is we'll open up the drawing and ensure that the Waldman drawing is okay for us to continue and everything looks good. So then we'll close that drawing, and what we're going to do now is just check the main section drawing to make sure that that's okay, and that's updated, that's fine. Close that, save that. Now what we're going to do is duplicate this member from this side to the opposite side, because it's the same member, and with the way that we've drawn the sketch, that it will change its direction in the opposite direction automatically. So if we go TSD members and select duplicate member, select the main section on the beam, and then select the driving sketch line, and the whole process is completed, and then we hit the tick, and then that will copy a second instance of the same beam over on the other side, and you'll notice the 1 and the 2, which means that it's got a second instance, very similar to the columns as they were created. The next thing that we need to do is to click on TSD members, and you'll notice that I did a Control Q, Control S as well before I did this, and then select the beams again. We're going to select the second beam in the list, which is this one, and we're going to leave the selection as a sketch segment, and we're going to select the sketch on the far side, hit the tick, and in goes a new beam, and that beam now will be used again, but we've just placed it, so I'm just saving that there. Control Q, Control S,